so long ago, Official Detective Magazine assigned me to investigate a series of flagrant burglaries, all executed by a crew aptly labeled by police the Party Gang. They were skillful, daring criminals who tormented every last member of the police department by robbing and then outrageously celebrating at the scene of the crime.
I suppose you think this is funny.
I own the place. What have I got to laugh about?
I'll tell you, this has gone far enough. Now, week after week, these thieving clowns have made monkeys out of us.
Monkeys out of you and paupers out of the people they rob.
It just doesn't seem possible that one gang could pull so many jobs.
It's the same gang, all right.
The punch marks are identical to the ones on a safe in that drugstore last week.
Yeah, the same wonderful lack of clues here as in each one of their previous jobs.
The newspapers keep writing that it's a bunch of kids pulling these jobs.
Look, if you're so interested in what the newspapers have to say, why didn't you call the reporters instead of the police?
But suppose they are a gang of juvenile delinquents. Aren't you going to be ashamed of yourselves?
The department has seriously considered the possibility of these crimes being committed by juveniles, but all the evidence points to a professional gang.
Well, I don't believe the juveniles could do a punch job like that on a safe.
They left stocks and bonds. If they were pros, wouldn't they take convertible securities?
Well, I think that all these juvenile pranks are just a smokescreen planned for our benefit. Now, what else they get?
They took all the gum and candy from the machine.
Now, let's forget for a minute whether we're dealing with juvenile delinquents, a bunch of hungry fat boys, or whatever else you want to call it. I said at the start, and I still believe this is a local operation. The gang hangs out in this neck of the woods, and this is where they're going to stay. Well, take a look. Here they are. Cherry Valley, Eastwood, Delaware Gap, Oakville, Riverview. Not a single one of these burglaries was committed over a few miles from the center of the city.
But, Captain, we can't pick up any local leads. It must be a gang from the outside coming in just for these jobs.
We picked up every hoodlum in transit we could locate. We've shaken down hundreds of them without any results.
Keep right on hauling them in. Any man without a job who's got money to spend can count on being asked a lot of questions. That's all.
Will do.
We're going to go see Arch.
Detectives Graves and Clark, the original officers first assigned to the case of the Party Gang, were the recipients of almost as much lambasting from the press and public as Captain Aldworth himself.
You two fellas still on the force?
Very funny.
Did you hear what the Chronicle said about you two tonight? I quote, "And despite the fact that the Party Gang continues to function more successfully than Elsa Maxwell in her palmiest days, Captain Richard Aldworth and those two other rover boys, fun-loving Tom Clark and serious Sam Graves, continue to hunt unsuccessfully."
What else is new, Freddie?
Suppose you tell me.
Freddie, you know perfectly well the entire force has been working on these burglary and safe jobs day and night.
And we can use all the cooperation we can get.
Tell me, has anyone been in here lately spending an unusual amount of money?
If they've been spending it, it ain't been here. Oh, boy, has business been rotten.
Well, if you hear anything, Freddie, we'll appreciate a call.
Anything I can do, you know I will. Hey, and forget the ribbon. You know I'm with you guys, huh?
Okay, Freddie.
Looks like another scorcher.
Say, it's only 5 to 7. You want to go down and get a cup of coffee before we check in?
Check out. Your boys were at it again last night. Federated Warehouse right away.
They didn't have to bring a thing. All those tools are from our stock right here in the warehouse. The tags are still on them. I suppose all we can do is wait till the lab men come.
Now, just what makes you say that?
Oh, I love crime shows. I watch them all the time on TV. Now, if you want my opinion, I can tell you exactly how to catch this gang.
Now, you just do that.
Well, I was watching a show last week, and on this show, the gang operated the very same way.
Well, here's the score. No prints. They got about $800 in cash and about $80 in stamps. I got another piece of startling news for you. It looks like they're getting ready for another job. The only thing missing from the warehouse was 6 boxes of hacksaw blades.
The next thing you know, they'll be sending us engraved invitations announcing the time and the place.
You are cordially invited to attend the safe opening party at the Rinky Dink Sporting and Athletic Club.
Cocktails will be served immediately following conclusion of the burglary. All kidding aside, what about all this food and drinking business? Do you think it may have some psychological tie-up?
Everybody else in town has ventured an opinion. What do you say we talk to the department psychiatrist? Maybe he can give us some kind of a lead.
Good idea.
Captain, I got a funny problem. Some tramps have taken up housekeeping in the courthouse attic.
What are you talking about, Tom?
You remember that rain we had the other day? Well, the clerk in one of the courtrooms complained about a leak in the ceiling. So I went up in the attic, and after I repaired the roof, I naturally checked the attic for any other leaks, and I found a bunch of newspapers spread all over the floor like somebody been sleeping there.
Well, the wind could have just blown them in a pile, you know. You must be mistaken, Tom.
No, I'm not, Captain, because newspapers weren't the only thing I found there. Found a couple of bottles of whiskey, a pair of dungarees, a jacket, and a couple other things.
Well, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Well, if you know what I mean, I figured you had your own problems, Captain, what with all the things they've been saying about the department.
Never mind that, Tom. Now, how do you suppose these tramps, as you call them, got up into the attic?
Well, easy. The front door to the courthouse is always kept open.
Well, what do you want me to do about it?
Well, I'd like to put a strong lock on that door up on the 3rd floor leading to the attic. That'll stop them.
It's okay with me. I'll get a requisition for the lock and have my secretary take it over to you.
Thanks, Captain. Say, is it true the party gang broke into another place last night?
I'm afraid so.
They took about $100 in small bills and change from the register, and about $60 from the cash box in the kitchen. About a half a case of whiskey was taken from behind the bar there. One thing for sure, they liked aged whiskey. They took all 12-year-old bonded stuff. Oh, they had a party here, too, before they left. Fried themselves up steaks, drank 5 or 6 bottles of whiskey. Must have been 8 or 10 of them to eat up that many steaks. They may be called a party gang, but they eat like pigs. Imagine, frying filet mignons.
The party gang, stimulated by their continued success, went on a wild round of parties. The pattern was always the same. Crack the safe, wine and dine, and then gifts all around. Sport apparel, confections, and trivials. About this time, another provocative problem confronted the police. On consecutive nights, autos reported stolen in the early evening were always found abandoned in the early morning in the vicinity of the police building.
Captain, there seems to be such a definite pattern, and we're not getting any place with it. We thought it might strike you in a different light.
Yes?
The janitor's here. He says it's urgent that he see you immediately.
Send him in. Hold it just a minute, will you, fellas?
Excuse me, Captain. Something has happened that just isn't right. I've been trying to figure it out all morning, and I can't.
Now, look, Tom, I'm awfully busy. Get to the point. What's on your mind?
Well, you remember me telling you about those tramps in the attic? Well, I put that lock on the door like we talked about, but they were back. They busted the lock.
Look, Tom, there's one way to stop all that. You lock the front door. Anybody with a legitimate business in the building will have to ring for you. Now, that'll keep them out for sure.
No, sir. The lock on the front door wouldn't mean a thing. They didn't come in through the front door. They came into the attic like they were dropped in from the sky. Doors being locked wouldn't bother them a bit.
Come on now, Tom.
Well, go up and take a look, Captain. They broke in that attic door from the inside, from the attic stairway.
Look, are you trying to tell me that those tramps somehow moved into the attic without going through the locked door and had to bust the door to get out?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure there isn't any other entrance into the attic?
Like I said, they had to come in from the roof, but there's no way to get to the roof, Captain. We better stop them, because if the newspapers find out, there's going to be an awful ruckus. I found nearly half a case of bonded whiskey up there this morning.
Half a case of bonded whiskey?
Half a case of bonded whiskey was stolen from the Black Angus Cafe. Let's go up and take a look.
It looks like the stuff from the Black Angus Cafe. We can check out the serial numbers on the stamps.
Could these bottles have been left here sometime before last night?
No, sir. I put that lock on the door, and I'm the only one who has the key.
No doubt about it, Captain. That door was forced from the inside.
How did they get up here?
Say, here's last night's paper.
This ladder leads up to the roof, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. And once more, I'd taken it down 4 days ago and put it over on the opposite side of the floor. When I came up here this morning, the ladder was back in place.
Well, Captain, even if they use the ladder, how could anyone get to the roof? The courthouse and the jail are all by themselves in the middle of the square here. How could anyone possibly get on the roof?
Well, now, why would a gang that had just pulled a burglary abandon their car a few yards away from the police station? Well, the car and the whiskey bottles are both apparently from the same job. Could it be possible that instead of a bunch of tramps hanging out up here, the party gang has been using this place?
They've pulled an awful lot of daffy tricks, like stealing a sports jacket, going hog wild on candy and gum. But why would they be foolish enough to play around right over our heads?
I'm getting a notion that nothing that's done is as daffy as it looks. Let's get back to my office. Helen, send in a pot of coffee and some sandwiches, will you?
How many sandwiches, Captain?
Oh, about 6 or 8. Well, now the car parked in front of the station and the whiskey bottles fit. And there are several other little pieces that are beginning to fall. Come on, fellas. Sit down, will you? You know, let's take the one suit, for example. Now, why would they take only one suit? Why didn't they bomb the safe in the store? They had plenty of other safes. Remember now, when this gang went out on a safe-cracking job, they always picked a place with tools on the premises. They didn't take any with them. They didn't bring any out. Well, any experienced safecracker would usually collect tools for a future job. But they didn't. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Much as I hate to say it. Because you can't hide very many tools in a jail cell.
What? Are you trying to say that that mob is operating right here in the county jail?
Where else? That ladder proves that someone wanted to move in from the roof. Well, no one can get on the roof and over to the courthouse hallway except from one building. The jail next door.
I suppose hoodlums who were smart enough to get out would be twice as smart to come back. That way they could rig a perfect alibi.
That night, Detectives Graves and Clark pored over the records of every man who had done time in the city jail in the past year. And before calling it quits, they double-checked the entrance to the jail itself.
And that's why I want you to be doubly careful, Sergeant.
But, Captain, how could it be possible? We've got the most modern prison in the state. We're protected by every device known to science, and every cell and corridor is triple locked.
Well, have any of the lock mechanisms been tampered with lately?
None whatsoever.
Now, tomorrow morning, when the prisoners are at breakfast, we will check the place thoroughly. Now, avoid any contact with the prisoners and let's not get anything started in the prison grapevine.
Yes, sir.
And one more thing, Adams. During the past couple of months after you put out the lights, have you heard any suspicious noises or sounds?
No, nothing at all. The only way out of that cell is through one of those doors, and there's always a man on duty out there. As I said before, Captain, every cell and corridor is triple locked. I'm telling you, a mouse couldn't get out of here.
All right, Sergeant.
The next morning, the captain and Detectives Graves and Clark resumed their inspection of the cell blocks.
Well, this does it.
Absolutely nothing. Well, I'd have bet my bottom dollar we'd have found something defective.
Even if they got out of the cells, each corridor is locked. Where would they go from there?
Well, I saw a picture the other night where the guy shrunk himself. Maybe they got some kind of chemical to shrink themselves, and then they flew out with the smoke through an air conditioner.
Well, I still say we're right. This report came in from Liquor Control, and the stamps on those whiskey bottles are definitely from the Black Angus Cafe. Now, I don't know how they're doing it, but I want the entire courthouse and jail building staked out. Maybe we can nab them on the street.
For the next 96 hours, the entire force responded to Captain Aldworth's commands. Men not only serving their regular tour of duty, but putting in extra hours, day and night, to keep the jail under surveillance.
Well, Captain, this makes 5 days and nights. Nothing was stirring in the streets around the jail, and this has been the longest time between robberies.
Well, maybe they're suspicious. Maybe that lock on the attic door made them a little more cautious. Well, I think there's only one thing to do, and that's to move and move right now. So let's shake down this place from top to bottom. Get every available man upstairs, clean out the cells, lock the men in the corridors.
Say, Captain, here's that sports coat from the men's furnishing store.
Captain, these bars are loose.
Take a look at those bars.
Some of these are loose, too. Have to be an awful small man to get through there.
Check the ceiling bars and the rest of the cells. Clark. Take a look at that vent. What's it look like, Clark?
Well, I couldn't get through it. But I suppose a small, wiry fellow, if he soaked himself, could slide through.
Well, that must be the reason they came out of these cells, down into this one, then up the air shaft. That's also the reason for those dungarees and other clothes up in the courthouse attic.
Now we know how they might have done it. All we've got to do is find out who did it.
Now, we don't have too much time to lose. Prisoners move out of here every day on bond, transfer, and release. They may slip through our hands if they haven't already. Let's check over that complete list of prisoners that we made and see if we can find any with an escape record. Well, none of the men has any escape record. Yes?
Captain, since that search this morning, one of my prisoners, Eddie Arden, seems a little nervous. He's been pacing his cell ever since.
Bring Arden down here and try and do it without arousing any suspicion.
Yes, sir. Arden, your attorney wants to see you. He's in the waiting room. Captain, Eddie Arden.
What's going on here? I thought my lawyer wanted to see me.
We're covering you with that lawyer's routine. You know, I've got a hunch that you've got something on your mind, Arden. Don't you think you'd feel better if you'd tell us? Come on, let's have it.
I can't, Captain. I can't. The big guy mixed up in it would kill me.
Nobody's gonna kill you. Who is it?
I can't tell you, Captain. I've only got 3 more months to serve. And when you're dead a long time.
Well, maybe we'll prove you were with the gang. You know, for breaking, entering, and safe robbery, you can get 20 years. Take him back.
No. I never left my cell for 2 seconds. Maybe you should talk to Sam Parker. They say he's been missing from his bunk a lot of nights.
All right, Arden. Now keep quiet. Nothing will happen. Clark.
Yes, sir.
Take him back to Sergeant.
Come on.
Sergeant Adams.
How many men are in the cell with Parker?
There's one, Big Bill Clemens.
Well, who else has been in the cell with Parker during the last month and a half?
Just a second. Well, there was Fry. He was released a week ago. And there was Tom White. He was released 2 weeks ago. Then there were the Durant brothers. They both made bail 2 weeks ago. And that's it for the last month and a half, Captain.
I'll bring Parker and Clements down here.
I'll have Parker and Clements down there immediately.
Parker's just a kid. Only 19. He's not smart enough for this. Clemens is, though. He had the experience, too. He's been up for safe jobs and armed robbery before. He could never get through that air shaft. He must weigh over 200 pounds.
The Durant brothers did time for safe cracking. Fry's done time for robbery. We haven't had a job since those three were released.
Send Parker and Clemens in. Well, what are you in for, Parker?
Petty theft, Captain. Only got 5 days more to serve.
Mm-hmm. Would you be surprised, Parker, if I told you that we know all about your little escapades? Would you like me to tell you how you did it?
I don't understand.
You wait till the lights go out, you take your clothes off, and you soap your body. Then you unscrew the metal plate on the air conditioner. Now, the prisoners in the other cells wiggle their way through the opening in the ceiling bars and join you. You boost yourselves up the shaft, and from there on, it's simple to crawl along the shaft, out on the roof, over to the old courthouse and down the steps. You come back by the same route. You want me to go on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, you're just a kid, Parker. And you're really traveling on the wrong road. Nearly every one of the other men involved with you are old-timers.
Well, really?
Don't interrupt. Old-time, hardened criminals. The Durant brothers. Fry. White.
I don't know any of those guys.
Keep it up, Parker. You'll wind up to be a big man. Like Clemens here. Big across the seat. Take a good look at him, Parker. Listen to him. See how you'll end up.
Clemens wasn't in on any of it. It was just his idea. He couldn't go along. You couldn't get him through that ventilator with a windlass.
Clark, take him back to their cells.
All right, boys.
And Clark,
Yes,
make sure they're locked in.
yes, sir.
Maybe you don't want to hear this, Captain, but there are an awful lot of newspaper men outside.
Oh, I sure wish my vacation was coming up this afternoon.
Justice had been delayed long enough. The police swiftly picked up the Durant brothers, Fry, and a criminal named White. The grand jury returned indictments charging them with breaking, entering, grand larceny, and escape. Big boy Clements was also indicted for conspiracy to escape and receiving stolen goods. Parker turned state's evidence, and as a result of his assistance, he received probation.
Come in.
Hello, Captain.
Well, did you get all the information you needed about the party gang for Official Detective Magazine?
Well, just about everything except for one thing.
Now, what's that?
How did the press treat you when the news broke?
Well, they gave the story a real front-page play. You know, it was rather an unusual operation for a gang of safecrackers. We'd take a ribbing along with the next one. After all, in the last inning, the home team didn't do so badly.
Well, they won the game, which is the whole general idea. I'd say the home team did rather well. And let me tell you that no one else ever got out of this jail without a release signed by Captain Holworth. Next week, we'll bring you another dramatic and actual crime report from the files of Official Detective Magazine.